Hello Crimp V8, you're watching Jaybird TV. Welcome to another episode, everyone. The first route I'll be climbing today are those orange holds. A delightful little V2, V3. So, height. Gotta give the bow. Respect the squadron here. And this one's just really fun. Some nice traversy movement, getting those hips moving around. And then just coming up to the right side there and finishing it up. Bringing the down climb down. I have been trying to down climb only the holds on the routes. You'll notice I do it a lot more towards the beginning of the episode because I have a lot more energy. So I'm doing that. And dab on them. So hop on this blue V4, V5 here. Go up left first, then right, and then bump that left hand up to the top sloper for readjusting feet and coming into an undercling. From here I hit the left hand and then go up right to that big jug. Then match the right side of it and then kind of lean in to get the right hand. Instead of bumping my right hand up, I just go left and top it out. It's a pretty sweet route. My roommate was actually with me and was working on it for a while, and he was getting really close to sending, so it's pretty awesome to see someone working at their limit. Really appreciate that. So here I am down climbing the route with only the given holds. It's definitely a little bit harder than some other climbs. If we just skip ahead to this pink V2, V3 here, pink holds. Pretty similar to the orange V2, V3 with those kind of ribbed looking holds that are amazing pinches, very juggy. But just hit the bottom hands and kind of lean out right. And this next section is very cool. So you have those two holds, and the beta that you're supposed to do is actually to hit that as an undercling and then stand up, which is a little cryptic for a V2, V3 in my own opinion. But when you do it, it feels really nice. So kind of rewards the climber for doing the correct beta. I do love when they have a little more complex movement on the V2, V3s. Just kind of helps with route reading and just makes them feel really fun. So of course, getting that down climb here. You can see when I'm just using only the holds, it's not quite as smooth. But once again, just great to do. Mentally, helps your footwork and stretches those tendons out. And just getting the wrist moving there, blood flowing. So the next route, these black holds here. I love those two in the middle, super cool. Here's a demonstration of how I cannot floss. I don't know why I decided to do that one. I have been working on it. I'm slowly getting better. Anyhow, so this route here, you are starting down on some underclings, and just work your way to crimps to get into those big black holds. And you kind of pinch the lip on those. It's not quite as bomber as it looks, although it's definitely pretty great. But I was kind of surprised by the amount of force I had to use to squeeze and make it feel secure. So you can kind of see in my hesitation there, I'm really squeezing. But once I get that, you have a really bomber hold that is two-sided and you can match on well. People were asking me why I don't like to match. And the reason I don't is because one, it doesn't quite feel as flowy, and I really appreciate crossovers. Also, once I'm climbing on very crimpy routes, I found that it helps a lot if I have the strength to kind of reach over and cross when the hold is too small and too crimpy. So that's just personally why I like to do it. It also feels like I do some cooler moves when I don't match because there's a greater distance between how far my hands are moving. So really just personal preference. But anyhow, I do get the down climb on this V4, V5, which is pretty fun. So next up are those green holds. And this was a really cool route. Kind of a crimpy start. and then you do have some nice big slopey jugs thrown in there. So starting on those 2 crimps, get your feet kind of widespread, hit the first crimp left, and then do a very cool cross under to the right hand. I love moves like that because you need to shift your weight in order for the holds to begin becoming good. And from here you hit that very cool undercling. Hit a left hand on the crimp, and there's a bigger move here. So you toss your weight up right, and then from there really you can just finish it up. It was a cool route though. I love the contrast of the really big holds and the small crimpy ones too. It's pretty cool. I do attempt to down climb this one, and I found that trying to down climb this move was really hard. And my man Sam there, what's good? So we're jumping right into the yellow crimp V8. All those thin yellow crimpy holds you see in front of you. The crux is certainly down low, and you will see why it is the crux. So you have a pairing of 2 yellow holds there that become a pinch essentially. Your thumb catches the left one, the 4 fingers on the right. The idea is to come in and match that. So when I try and match it, my weight pops off the wall. It's like in order to get myself far enough right, in order to actually be able to match it, I'm just perfectly, like my chest is center over it. And for some reason it didn't work. So I go for this tall man beta here and try and just reach up and hit that crimp. That did create a new crux in which I have to really sink the left hand and lean in right in order to then bump my right hand out to the undercling, which is kind of between where my right and left hands are. Once again, trying that down low match beta. I knew that was probably the setter's intention. And here I actually am able to match it for a second, but then once I go out right, I just am unable to hit it before my weight sinks down. So I revert to the tall beta. Really come in, and I'm actually starting to get a little angry, which ironically helps me send. So I go out and I squeeze that with all my mights, really crimping down hard. And I do get my weight just a little more in, and that allows me to go up and hit the undercling. It's very satisfying to hit that. I did not want to drop it from here, so keep it lower foot there. And then from here, move my feet up. And you do have a bit of a dynamic move outright. But once you catch that, you can really kind of lock it down. Get the high left to hit one last yellow crimp. And from here, it's just a move to the finish, which thankfully is a jug. Thank goodness. So that one did feel a bit tricky to me. My crimp strength has been feeling pretty on point, and I am starting all my hangboarding once again, so the next few months here should be increasing, which I'm pretty excited about. Anyhow, we are moving on to the green holds, V6, V7. Opposite direction of the slopey, the crimpy V6, V7. This one's much slopier, which I love. I love slopey holds. It's kind of a cool bump out there. Get your feet situated pretty high. And I actually do bring them back down low in order to then move out right. Squeeze that right hand. The left foot up. Come into that last slope before going up to the top. And as I'm talking about, I am using the jugs for the down climbing now because it is just so much easier and I'm getting pretty tired. Most of the time I am spending 1 to 2 days on each episode, so the more climbs, definitely the more fatigued I am. Anyhow, those yellow holds, this is a really interesting V6, V7. I like it quite a lot. So you start down low on some crimps, and then you have 2 slopey pinches there. So you hit the first one with your left, and I actually then match the top one. and I had to switch my hand from almost a bit of a Gaston to the opposite way. Squeeze really hard, and then reach out really far left. And then actually just push against that with my fingers until I can fall into it. And then I go up and pinch the top undercling before actually switching it into an undercling. But just a really interesting start. When you switch your hand around to pinch it the correct way, it's not good until you lean out. So once again, another really awesome weight shifting move. And then just some pinchy blocks up here for the final moves. So just kind of gritting down, squeezing, keeping the core engaged. And then I get the left foot to move my right up and go to the top there. So voila, got the yellow V6, V7 down. A very cool route. I do love just the endless creativity of these setters. It's awesome. So those orange holds are going to constitute this last V4, V5 I'll be climbing. So I climbed this incorrectly. I don't do the intended beta here, so I just swing up right, which felt pretty hard for the grade, but you're actually supposed to mantle off the start and bump your left hand up and match it. Didn't realize that until after I climbed it, so I kind of just powered through it. Classic comedy, but still felt like a really cool move to me, so kind of a win-win. But anymore, top that out. Just some swift moving from there. And that's going to bring this episode to a wrap. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Mad love. Peace.